watching KQEG here on 7 River Sports, and I'm your host, Terry Erickson. Each week, an inside look into sports, wellness, and fitness. Today, the spotlight on Viterbo University with head baseball coach Brian Lewis.
Nice to be here, Terry.
Welcome to the show, Brian. Along with Joe Cliver and Clay Langan. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Well, Coach, baseball underway. Not in this area necessarily, but you've been traveling down south, and you're still looking for that win. But I mean, you must have had some bright spots in the early season.
Yeah, we have. We've had some bright spots. We've had a couple young freshmen step up on the mound, especially a young man by the name of Max Verdegen's given us some quality outings. We've had some bright spots offensively at times as well. You know, we've had the lead in the last inning of games on 4 separate occasions, and we just we haven't quite learned how to win yet and shut the door. But you know, these guys are coming along, and the competition's been tough. You know, we schedule a tough opponents early in the year that have been playing a lot down south, and we feel that's going to make us better come conference time.
And so are you doing some experimenting, too, with lineups and just trying to find people's roles and develop some chemistry?
Yeah, absolutely. And you can ask these guys. I've used quite a few different lineups. I'm trying to get everybody in there so that we can evaluate what everybody can do, what their skill sets are, and where they're most comfortable and where they're most valuable to us as a team. So been a lot of that going on.
Joe Cliver, first time I've met you, a freshman from Hortonville. Heard a lot about Hortonville, of course. You were all conference, all district, all played in the All-Star game, and you were a great student. So, I mean, you come with a pretty impressive resume to lacrosse and Viterbo University. Reflect on your high school days.
I like to think that I had a pretty successful high school days, but hopefully I can transition it into college. Hopefully I can learn more about the game through coach here, but I came in with a pretty good understanding, I like to think, of the game, and hope to get better in the future.
So imagine being an accomplished athlete. You were not sure perhaps until at least your senior year what you wanted to do. You could have pursued other things, and what attracted you to lacrosse and Viterbo University?
Definitely. There were some other places I was looking at, but just the surrounding area I really got to like, and as I got to meet our old coach, Coach Faulkner, and kind of brought us in, I got to meet Coach Lewis and some of the guys, definitely the teammates, and just kind of how they played the game was definitely something I liked, and I thought that Viterbo was doing something really special, and it was something that I really wanted to be a part of.
Well, maybe a lot of our viewers know Clay Langan, who's grew up close to here in Sparta. I remember you as an athlete there, and I remember people talking about your qualities as a leader. You were a 3-sport athlete, all conference, and you certainly had a tremendous high school career, and you left a legacy in Sparta.
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't consider it, I mean, maybe not as best as I could have had it in high school, but I did well with the competition, and when I was playing, I know, basketball with Bronson Koenig and Matt Thomas, it was some tough games in and out, so just kind of try to take that competitive aspect to this level and know that, you know, it can always be better.
Who inspired you when you were young to be, you must have been involved in athletics when you were very young, and somebody nurtured you along and created some interest, and you picked up on it?
Probably the big motivator and big role model is my dad. He's worked 6 days a week ever since I can remember, so Monday through Saturday. He's always found time to work with me in sports, baseball, basketball, football, and a little golf on the side. It's kind of his sport. I just kind of get the work ethic from him and know that everything's not given. You got to put the time in and make sacrifices to be where you want to be.
Good. I know, Joe, you were introduced to sports when you were very young, too, and kind of go back and down memory lane, and what were some defining moments, and what really got you interested in sports?
Definitely. When I was younger, I tried a lot of different things, tried to kind of find what I was good at and what I really liked, and my dad was a huge part in that, kind of like Clay. He definitely got me interested in a lot of different things, and he was always supportive on whatever I wanted to do. And I definitely kind of found a click in baseball, and I really enjoyed it. And my family has been a huge part of kind of taking me all around, taking me to practices, and letting me kind of go where I wanted to with it.
Well, Brian, you're certainly an asset to Viterbo University, and you you kind of represent what Viterbo stands for when you think of their mission statement and some of the quality coaches that work at Viterbo. But you took over kind of unexpectedly, and your Christmas present was not the present you thought you were going to get.
No, it was. Turns out to be a great Christmas present for me. Coach Faulkner got a job offer at Madonna University back in the Detroit, Michigan area where he's from originally, and he couldn't pass it up. It was a great opportunity for him and his family, and I got a phone call just a couple days before Christmas from Ted telling me what he was going to do, and then shortly after that, our athletic director Barry Freed called me in, and we spoke about the interim head coach role with the possibility of making it full time, and I'm excited for the opportunity. I'm grateful for the opportunity to Viterbo University, and I'm going to try to take full advantage of it and hope to be here for a long time.
Well, I don't know how many of our viewers know you, Brian, but I want to share this. When I look at your resume at Central University, Illinois Central, Lewis and Clark in the Independent Professional League, Loggers, Northwest. I mean, you have a tremendous amount of experience, which is a huge benefit for the athletes in the program. Talk about your experiences.
Yeah, I'd like to think so. I was fortunate at a young age when I played junior college baseball as a player. Our head coach, Randy Martz, who was a former major league pitcher with the Chicago Cubs, and I learned a lot from him. And when I got done with my college career, he hired me on right away at Lewis and Clark Community College, and then also in the Frontier League, which is an independent professional league. I was in that league for 4 years with the River City Rascals and another year with the Kalamazoo Kings. Transitioned my college career to Illinois Central College, home of Jim Thome. That's where Jim Thome played. And then from there I came here to lacrosse. The Lacrosse Loggers brought me here as an assistant coach in 2013. After a couple seasons going back and forth, I just kind of fell in love with the area. Had the opportunity at Central High School to take over. Joe Barron offered me the job as the head baseball coach at Central. And as you know, Terry, the great teams of the past at Central High School, and the winning tradition over there is second to none as far as high school baseball, and I found it as a blessing and an opportunity to advance my career through Central, and that's how I met Ted Faulkner, who brought me on over here at Viterbo. So I feel like I do have a lot of experience at every level, and I've learned a lot, and I try to just, I feel fortunate enough that I was taught the game the right way, and I just want to pass that on to these guys and others.
And I know Joe Barron, who's a friend of mine, speaks highly of you too. Speaking of coaches, Joe, you've been exposed to many, many coaches, different styles. Everyone comes with a different style, a different approach. What do you look for in a coach? What is an ideal coach to you?
The biggest thing is probably somebody that you can go to always. Just with the short time that I've been getting to know him over the past year, he's definitely been one of those coaches. It's somebody that you can kind of go to, somebody you can get behind, somebody that you like playing for. Not always somebody that has to yell at you and get on you, but somebody that expects highly of you. He sets a high standard for you and wants us to keep it, and just kind of being a leader both by how he carries himself and how he expects us to handle ourselves.
Well, and Clay Langan, we introduced you earlier from Sparta. You've had many coaches at youth and at Sparta High School, and now as a senior at Viterbo, you've been exposed to all kinds of coaches. What do you take from those, and who do you like to play for, and who would you like to have what kind of a coach would you like to have your son play for someday?
I've had 3 coaches since I've been at Viterbo here. I had Coach Chad Miller my first 2 years, which I loved him. Great coach, great game manager. And then Ted Faulkner, my junior year and what would have been my senior year before I got injured. And same kind of person, great guy, baseball, he knows his stuff, and just I worked for him as well, so he's kind of one of my leaders outside of baseball too. But I would say Coach Lewis is kind of a mix of both of these guys, and he's really the kind of person that you really want to win games for, and it's tough going out there not being able to get him his first win this year.
Powerful statement, Coach, by both these guys, and that's, to me, one of the key measuring sticks in the effectiveness of a coach.
Yeah, I just try to work hard every day for the benefit of these guys, not just these two, obviously, but everybody on the roster. I feel like I'm here to serve them and lead them in the right way. So it's flattering to hear the comments that Joe and Clay have said, and I hope that we can continue down that road. But we got a great mix. The reason that I chose these two young men to join us today is kind of like, this is our program right now. Clay being a fifth-year senior, and he's been through it all, the ups and the downs, personally and with the program, and Joe kind of the new up-and-coming young blood, all-state caliber player out of high school coming in. And Joe won't tell you this, but he leads our team in home runs right now as a freshman, and he's doing a great job. He swings the bat well. But this is kind of what Viterbo is in a nutshell. It's the leadership of a guy like Clay that's been through it all, and it's the young, energetic guys like Joe that are going to lead us in a new direction.
And it takes a leader that in the head coaching position to inspire all of that and to galvanize the team. So some powerful statements. Well, we're going to step aside and talk more when we come back about Viterbo University, the culture, and the baseball program right after this.
LASIK surgery at Mayo Clinic Health System.
Well, I was very nearsighted. I couldn't see 3 feet in front of me without things being blurry, so I had to wear glasses.
We screen patients. We try to make sure that they're appropriate candidates for LASIK, that their prescription is within the range, that it's reasonable to do it, that they have a good understanding of what they can expect, that they have a good understanding of what the benefits are and what the risks are.
For more information on LASIK surgery, contact Mayo Clinic Health System.
At Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, we have assembled a championship team
who listens to what your needs are.
We install carrier comfort systems that improve the comfort, efficiency, and the air quality of your home and workplace.
We serve you with highly trained technicians who are prompt, friendly, and honest.
For Gold Star treatment, turn to the experts, Carrier and Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning.
Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, your comfort is our business.
Welcome back to Seven Rivers Sports. Again, the spotlight on V-Hawk Baseball. Head coach Brian Lewis, along with Joe Cliver and Clay Langan. Before we went to break, Coach Lewis, you mentioned Clay and his leadership. You mentioned he's been through a lot. And I know that you had a medical setback recently, which was very serious, and a testament to your character, your family, your faith, and certainly your physicians. You're back 100%. Mm-hmm. Share that with us.
Basically last year, about, I think, literally 2 days before we were supposed to leave for our first game, I got admitted to the hospital, and I found out that I had a staph infection in my spine. And basically, I was out right away for the rest of the season, and I had to take a medical leave from school and drop all my classes. And this happened right before spring break, so it was just a tough time getting halfway through my semester and getting ready to start baseball, and then having this hit your senior year. I struggled with it right away, and I had like a portable IV in my arm for about 7-8 weeks and a back brace for about 13, 14 weeks, and I just got it off the week before we started fall baseball this fall. So I mean, it's just a big learning experience and something that I can kind of take from and just look at like how lucky I am just to be able to play and how much fun I need to have when I can go out there and play.
Change your philosophy of life?
Yeah, definitely. I guess beforehand, I might get a little more upset about having a bad game or a bad at bat, and now I'm happy to be out there. I'm always focused, and I mean, there's no one more excited to be out there than me.
Maybe a defining moment and change your life forever.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, Joe, you're as a freshman, and you probably haven't had a lot of setbacks because you probably had several dates. And as handsome as you are, you probably didn't have a problem with that. Everything's going great for you. But there'll be adversities. Life is not a 4-lane expressway. How are you going to handle those if you have setbacks and when you do have setbacks?
Just kind of learning from Clay here. I mean, just kind of taking it into the baseball side of it, going out there and playing every game like it might be your last. You never know when you're going to run into something like Clay. It came up just out of the blue, and you just got to enjoy it, have fun. Baseball is a game that I love to play, and get to go out there with some of my guys, my family, and go out there and play with them. So it's just a blessing to be able to go out there and play. So every game I step out there, just enjoy it, and play every game like it could be my last one.
Brian, a big part of Viterbo, as I know extremely well, is their NAIA Champions of Character and Servant Leadership. Now, besides coaching baseball and the techniques, breaking down the game and so on, part of the expectations of a coach is to develop, teach, reinforce values. How do you do that?
Well, I begin by trying to do it by the way that I live my life and the way that I live every day, and try to do that by example. And then I try to instill in these young men every day in some sort of a way a lesson to take with life and outside of baseball. And we talk about it quite a bit as a team, especially at the end of practices, about character and being a man of character and meeting your responsibilities and being on time for meetings with your advisors and financial aid in the business office and everything that you have to take care of off the field, in the classroom and with family. And you know, as you can imagine, Terry, these young men go through a lot when it comes to family and people passing away and that are close to them. And I feel like a lot of times I'm more of a psychologist than a coach, but I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. And I just feel that if I live my life the right way and I can try to teach these guys what it means to be a man of character in today's world, then they're going to be a lot more successful in life off the baseball field once they get that degree.
I'm sure they will. And Joe, you're sort of a consummate student first, athlete second. You were on the in the dean's list. You're on the honor roll as a freshman. Your first semester. You didn't have right. Yep. You didn't have much of a transition issue. You converted right from high school to college, and you immediately took to your studies first. And you're a leader. You were a captain in high school. What's leadership mean to you? Define leadership.
Definitely kind of when talking your time management, just kind of finding a balance of athletics and school and even just time for myself. But just kind of leading both by example and by your words. Don't just be somebody that gets on somebody. Be somebody that guys want to get behind. Show by example first and set a high standard for people, and hold yourself to that same standard as well.
So if I ask you what your philosophy of life is, something tells me that it revolves around your personality, which is a aggressive go-getter. Is that correct?
Yeah, definitely. You get in what you put out, or you get out what you put in, my bad. But it's just kind of your work ethic. Everything you do in life, you should go 100% at it. I don't think you should go half in with anything, whether it's school, your family and friends, and baseball or sports in general. I just think that when you're going to do something, you might as well do it full speed.
And you have a saying too, and it kind of reflects your friend Clay here. If you're gonna zero in on one of your favorite sayings, what would that be? Something to do with adversity, I think.
Yeah, just kind of battling back and just kind of getting through it. You never know when it's going to be your last, so just treat every day like it's your last and enjoy every moment.
Well, Clay, sorry to say this, but the clock is running out, not on the show, but on your college.
Yeah.
You're graduating in just a couple of months.
Couple of months, yep.
So, and then you'll be on to a new chapter in your life.
Yep.
So next year and years later, when your name comes up, Clay Langan from Sparta, and they talk about you at Viterbo University, what do you want them to say about you?
I just want to be remembered, I guess, for the work ethic I put in, the time I put in, and how I treat my teammates. I think I kind of try to lead by example, and I like to motivate others to do more than what's expected, and just to get people to do stuff because they want to do it, not because they feel like they have to do it. Like, we don't have to work out extra, but we need to work out extra because we need some wins. And I just want to motivate people to put in that extra work and then remember for years to come that that's what it takes.
And when you graduate and you're going to be pursuing a career, what will that be? I'm
going to pursue a career in business. My major is business management and leadership. I have an internship at Holthouse Financial Group in 100 Harborview Plaza, downtown La Crosse. I'm enjoying that, and we'll see what happens, I guess. Just kind of getting my feet wet.
Something tells me, and I think our viewers would agree, you're going to be a success.
I hope so.
Not just financially, but you're going to be a success as a person.
That's the goal. That's the plan.
And something tells me Joe is too, although you have a few more years at Viterbo University.
Yeah, a couple left.
So, major?
Business administration.
Mm-hmm. So you're going to be an entrepreneur someday, or?
I'm hoping. I don't know exactly what I want to do yet, but I'm hoping to kind of broaden my aspects, maybe even get a minor in marketing, so that way it kind of opens a lot of doors for me in the future.
Do you know you market yourself every single day when you get up and leave your apartment or you leave your dorm? You are your own marketer. You knew that, I guess, right?
Yep.
Coach tells you that. Well, let's quickly go back to baseball a little bit and talk about, a lot of people perhaps don't know you have a new building and your facilities are improved, and you're going to embark on some home games here pretty quick. And let's talk about the facilities and the roster and Viterbo baseball. Let's talk about that, Coach.
Yeah, the facilities are definitely getting upgraded out there on Highway 16. They built a new building for us. For the first time out there, they have bathrooms, real bathrooms, not porta potties, which I know a lot of the parents, especially mothers, are very, very happy with. We got a full training room and 4 locker rooms in there, which makes it great for recruiting purposes, as well as obviously our current athletes. And then they put new batting cages in for us, turfed 4 batting cages. I believe was a joint effort between the Boys and Girls Club and Viterbo University to get that done, which says a lot about the community and the way that Viterbo and the Boys and Girls Club work with each other. And that's a great asset too. We didn't have that in the past. You can get a lot more done when you have 4 batting cages, as you can imagine. So definitely Viterbo is putting in the money to help with the facilities and upgrade what we have. So it's an exciting time.
Yeah, and I see your first home game is March 25th. Hopefully the weather cooperates, and then you get into your conference season. As we end the show, what are you looking for during your conference race?
Well, I'm looking for us to finish at least 500 in the conference. I believe last year we were about 5 games under 500 in the conference, and I think that this club, we're a lot deeper than we were last year. We lost a couple all-conference offensive players, and it's been tough to fill that void. But these games we're playing non-conference early in the year against tough competition are really preparing us for what we're about to embark on starting on March 25th. So I think a great season for us would be to finish right around that 13-13 mark in conference and qualify for the conference tournament and see where that takes us.
Yeah, I'm confident that will happen. Real quickly, goals for the season for you, Joe?
Definitely, I want to keep playing, and I want to contribute and help my team win as many ball games as possible. No matter what that means for me, I don't know yet. I hope to figure that out, but I'm going to keep fighting and keep trying to get better every single day, and just trying to help my team be as best as it can.
And Clay, despite the intangibles which you bring, which is leadership, how about on the field? How do you want to end your career?
I just want to get as many wins as possible this year. The last season I got to play my junior year two seasons ago, I think we only had maybe 22 wins, something around there, and I just want to try to get as many as we can. We haven't started off on a great note, but I want to at least be remembered as a team that we hit some adversity but battled back and were able to reach our goals. So I think 500 or above in conference would be great for us, and just make some noise in the conference tournament.
Good. Well, you measure success on the scoreboard, but there's a lot of other ways to measure success. And a lot of people forget that, but I'm sure you know it, and I'm sure our viewers know it. Well, it's been a great interview today. We really appreciate you being on the show. Again, Brian Lewis, Joe Cliver, and Clay Langan. Thanks for being on the show, guys.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
All right. We'll be back with some film clips right after this.
LASIK surgery at Mayo Clinic Health System.
I can see. I don't have to wear my glasses for driving, to go to the movies, for reading.
And I think it's a wonderful thing to offer people that freedom and independence of lenses, whether they're contact lenses or glasses, to be able to function every day from the morning to the evening and not think about it.
For more information on LASIK surgery, contact Mayo Clinic Health System.
At Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, we have assembled a championship team
who listens to what your needs are.
We install carrier comfort systems that improve the comfort, efficiency, and the air quality of your home and workplace.
We serve you with highly trained technicians who are prompt, friendly, and honest.
For Gold Star treatment, turn to the experts, Carrier and Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning.
Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning. Your comfort is our business.
Welcome back to Seven River Sports. Well, 3 exciting games this past week, and we were there to bring you all of the action. Let's start at Central High School, the top-ranked team in Division II in the state of Wisconsin, versus the Logan Rangers. A full house on hand for this historic meeting. Central jumped to a 44-26 halftime lead, but the Rangers would not go away. Logan played extremely well after intermission, led by the hot shooting of senior Cody Haith and junior C.J. Siegel. Haith closed out his career with 16 points, and Siegel led the team with 19. Central displayed its depth with senior standout Kobe King in foul trouble throughout much of the game. Johnny Davis, Jordan Davis, Bailey Kale, and Adam Haberman all were in double figures. Foul trouble and outstanding defense by Cody Haith held King to just 10 points, but the other Red Raiders picked up the slack. The Rangers close their season 14-9, while Central moves to the sectional semi with a 22-2 record. Final score, Central 84 and Logan 62. Our other crew was at the Chuck D. Fieldhouse in Onalaska for another regional final, the Hilltoppers hosting Rice Lake from the Big Rivers Conference. Anna took a 39-28 lead into halftime behind a swarming defense and a balanced offense. The second half also belonged to Onalaska with consistent free throw shooting, a record-setting 32 makes. Jalen Sample led the Hilltoppers with 16 points. Jalen Zubich, Noah Fredrickson, and Tyler Hughes added 14. Congratulations to Tyler Hughes, who scored his 1,000th point in his career. Avery Hobbs, Benjamin Cruteau, Spencer Page led Rice Lake as they finished 18-6. Onalaska moves to 20-4 and plays Central in the sectional semis at Logan on Thursday, and we will be there to bring you all of the action. Finally, our crews traveled to Baraboo for the sectional championship, the number 1 ranked Blue Goals versus Darlington. The Blue Gold defense remained intact, frustrating the Redbirds from the opening tip. And despite falling behind early and then taking a 31-27 lead into the break, Aquinas turned up the heat in the second half, outscoring Darlington 32-13. Modessa Collins led the way with 17 points. Lexi Donarski added 13, while Kaya Steiner chipped in with 11. Darlington closes their season 18-8 and were led by Kathleen Matthias with 11 points. The unbeaten Blue Goals now head to Green Bay on Thursday, locking horns with Shiocton. Game time 8:15. Final score in that sectional final, the Blue Gold 64 and Darlington 40. Aquinas looks to capture the first girls basketball title since the old WISAA days, where they won back-to-back championships in 1996 and 1997. Well, I hope you enjoyed the show this week. I'm your host, Terry Erickson, hoping that you will have an active and a healthy week ahead. So long from all of us here at Seven Rivers Sports.